cheating feels like a moral failure. Your biology sees it differently. Humans are the only great ape that tries to mate for life, and almost none of us are built for it cleanly. Staying with one person forever was never the plan. We invented monogamy. Evolution never signed the contract. So when faithfulness feels hard, it isn't because you're broken. You're running two ancient programs that were never meant to agree. To see the problem, you have to see how strange we are. Most mammals don't do couples at all. The male shows up to mate and vanishes. Over 90% of mammal species raise their young with no father in sight. Our closest relatives aren't much different. A male chimpanzee doesn't have a wife. He has a hierarchy and a season. And then there's us. Humans pair up. We fall in love, move in, build a life around a single person, and expect that bond to last for decades. On the scale of the animal kingdom, that is bizarre behavior. So the first question isn't why we cheat. It's why we bonded at all. The answer is sitting in every nursery. A human baby is born absurdly helpless. A foal walks within hours. A human can't hold up its own head for months, can't survive alone for years. Raising one is enormous, exhausting work. And for most of our history, one exhausted parent wasn't enough. So evolution reached for a solution it rarely uses in mammals. It made the father stay. Pair bonding was that glue. A couple that stayed together could keep more children alive than a parent doing it alone. And so we evolved the machinery of attachment, the rush, the comfort, the ache of missing someone. Love, in the coldest possible terms, is a commitment device. It's chemistry that makes leaving feel unbearable, so that we stay long enough to raise a child who takes half a lifetime to grow. But here's where the second program comes in. Because staying wasn't the only way to win. Evolution doesn't care about your happiness. It cares about copies. And for our ancestors, there were quiet reproductive advantages to not being perfectly faithful. For everyone, a wandering male could father children he'd never have to raise. And the story for females is subtler and more interesting. A partner bonded to someone steady and reliable might still gain something from another's genes. Security from one, variety from another. This is one of the most debated ideas in the science, so hold it loosely. But the logic is hard to ignore. The result would be a species pulled in two directions at once, built to bond. Also built, occasionally, to stray. Two ancient programs running in the same body that were never designed to get along. And then our biology did something genuinely strange to manage the tension. It hid the signal. In most mammals, there's a moment, heat, estrus, when the female's body announces that she can conceive. It's loud and unmistakable, and everyone in the group knows. Human ovulation is almost the opposite. It's nearly hidden, so quiet that for most of history, we couldn't detect it in ourselves, and even now, the cues are faint. Why would evolution bury something so important? The leading answer is unsettling. If no one knows exactly when a person is fertile, including their partner, then a mate who wants to be sure the children are his has only one option: stay close, all the time. Picture an ancestor who could never quite relax, never quite sure, lingering a little longer each morning than he meant to. Concealed fertility may have been the invisible leash that kept a partner from wandering off. It turned faithfulness from a simple choice into a round-the-clock uncertainty everyone had to carry. Which brings us to the part of you that you feel every day. Two chemistries live in your brain, and they don't get along. One is novelty, dopamine, the thrill of someone new, the spark that once made a fresh mate exciting. The other is attachment, the quiet chemistry that deepens over years and makes one person feel like home. They aren't the same circuit, and in a long relationship, the spark cools while the bond is left to hold everything together. That gap between the spark that fades and the bond that has to last is where the ancient war is fought. Every day, under the surface, in people who love each other completely. And it left us with an ugly inheritance: jealousy. Mate guarding is one of the oldest behaviors in the pair bonding playbook. The watching, the suspicion, the need to know where someone is. It feels personal and modern. It's neither. It's a 200,000-year-old surveillance system, still switched on, still scanning for a threat that once had real stakes. Now hand all of this to the modern world. Our ancestors rarely lived past 40. Till death do us part meant maybe 15 years. We now ask a single pair bond to survive for 50, 60, 70 years, decades longer than the machinery was ever tested on. And we're surrounded by more potential partners in a single day online than an ancestor met in a lifetime. The novelty program is fed constantly, while the attachment program is asked to run a marathon it was never built for. So no, faithfulness was never the factory setting. It's an achievement, a daily override of instincts that helped our ancestors survive, but never promised to make us happy. You are not broken for finding it hard. You're running ancient software in a world it was never written for. And the people who stay, they're not the ones without the pull. They're the ones who chose over and over to master it. If this reframed what loyalty actually is, subscribe. Every week we dig up the ancient reasons behind the things you do without thinking. Because the strangest part of being human is how much of it you never chose.